Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and today is Wednesday. Had another nasty day on Wall Street today. I thought we'd get a bounce, but looks like they're going to take it down for 2 days, maybe 3 tomorrow. I don't think so. I think we're just about at the bottom here for this little short-term move. And when I look at this and compare this down move here and this move here, it looks eerily similar to this pattern right over here, which had 2 down days. Now they're a little different, obviously, because the first down day was small and then the next one was a big one, where it kind of reversed that this time and had the large down day first and then the smaller one the next day. That would indicate a possible move up on Thursday and Friday if there's not much negative news out. Thursday and Friday, similar to this. We don't have to have 2 days. We could have 1 day. We could go up 1 day and then turn, and Friday could crash. It could. I won't say that because I don't know. But considering that there's not much going on earnings-wise or anything like that, unless it's another global event or something like that, then Thursday should definitely be an up day like this. And then we'll just have to look at the charts and see, will Friday produce another up day, or will it produce a sell-off and put in a big huge red bar somewhere, maybe a crash, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, another big down day. It's hard to say at this point. We are definitely starting. I think we're right in this range right here. I really do. So we're right in the crash zone. It may not happen this week. It might not be till next week. But I think we are getting, really close within a week or two of it happening. If we look over here at the weekly chart, you can see it had that week there, then the next week it crashed. Well, it's kind of what we're having right now. So we're kind of at that phase there. So it's looking very similar to that pattern right there. And the same with this one here, you see. Now, one of the things that you noticed here, that the close of this week, of this particular week, the open of the following week, it did run up 50% of that whole week. Just roughly guessing. You can see that topping tail right there. So it opened right there, but at some point either on a Monday or Tuesday it did go up and then turned back down and crashed that rest of that week. And same thing happened here with that particular week. You see it had a bad week there, then the next week went up to the same high, retested the high, then it crashed. So at some points that tells you that next week we should go back up and retest the highs, or at least 50%. You look at it here, wherever we go, we should go back up and either test the highs or at least come halfway. Well, I think we're going to do that for sure next week. So looking at all these candles here, they're very similar. Either there's 100% retracement, there's maybe 50%. This week here, it did 100% on that topping tail compared to there, but not to the actual top of that week, but for that there. So this tells you, let's see, look at some more of the weeks. This one here only did 50% back up, but that was a positive week. So I don't think that's the area that we're in yet. I think we're more along this area on a weekly chart, or possibly this area here. So it's hard to say, but I definitely think that wherever we end up this week, we should revisit a good portion of it. Maybe not go back up and touch it, but a 50% retracement of wherever this week ends would be reasonable to assume. So that means Thursday and Friday can do a multitude of things. Thursday I do see as an update. Friday I don't know about. If it's just a 50% move up and the charts really start to look bearish and ready to roll over, then we could have a huge down day on Friday. Or it could simply be 2 up days, Thursday, Friday, both up. And if that's the case, then this particular week will end up putting, especially if it closes up here around the top and erases all this, then the week would put in a candle kind of like that, you know, a spinning top kind of candle, which would still leave the next week for the possible crash. So either way, we're within days or a week, I think, of a real crash. Whether it happens this Friday or next Friday, I don't know. But, you know, it's going to be similar to this pattern. We're in this area right now, I do believe, where we're chopping. And it we're going to work out some bulls and bears and whip them both up and down, and then they're just going to tank. Only I don't think it's going to be this big recovery here in a 20-minute session. It's going to go down and stay down. And so that's what we're looking at. So I'm not going to sit here and say that we have started primary wave 3 down yet, and a good reason for that is that stupid fake print, which is, yeah, let's see, where the heck is that fake print? This one here, still lingering there, folks, at 135. What was that? 135.14. So I don't know if we're going to hit that this week or if that's going to be next week's target, or it's hard to say. But with that lingering there, that's a possibility. Now, as for let's see here, we also have an intraday fake print of 132.85, which I think will be the target tomorrow. I don't know if we like open at that level, then I'd be scared to be a bear at that point. That'd be a strong open like that is not good for the bears if we open at that level. That would indicate that it would probably immediately sell off as some bears would jump on board, but it would go down in a B wave and then retrace with a C wave and probably go up there and hit that 135.14 print. Let's look at that on a shorter time frame here for you. Okay, so around this area is where we close. So 132.85. Let's see, 132.85 is going to be right around in this area. And looky there, there's a nice little gap right there. There's more gaps. This one got filled. This one here hasn't. So right there in that gap area, you know they like to fill those gaps. So they may have done that one on purpose to leave it open to fill it later. So, and that just happens to be around that range for the fake print. So if they were to open it up at that level, I don't think we're going to gap open, but I'm just saying if they possibly did that, then sure, some bears would jump on board, because that would be about a 50% retrace from here to here. You go back up, that's about 50%. So the bears would think that's a nice wave 2 up and then a wave 3 down to follow. So if that happens early in the morning and it opens and just runs up there real quickly in the morning, that scares me. Because that, to me, tells me that you have the rest of the day, when the selling pressure dies off, to turn and run that thing back up. So literally, if it hits it early in the morning, then what would happen is the bears would push it down, and they would try to come down here and break this low. But probably they wouldn't be able to do it, because by the time they got down there, the volume would kind of dry up into the middle of the day like it usually does. And they have all that POMO money in there for tomorrow, and they have extra money. According to that Zero Hedge article, they've got extra money every Thursday that they're pumping in, another $25 billion extra every Thursday, besides the POMO money. So that, to me, would tell me that they would only drop this, and it would not be a wave 3 down, but instead it would be an A, B, and a C to follow. And you get short here thinking that you're going to catch a wave 3, only to find out it's only a B wave, and then you see it rip higher and blow out and blow you out. So that's a possibility. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't take a chance and get short at that place, because that very well could be the wave 2 retracement, and we could have a wave 3 down. We could crash on Friday, but I'm just not going to call that, because to me it just I just starting to think like these gangsters, and if everybody's thinking that we're going to crash on Friday, it's not going to happen. They're going to turn and rip it higher. So keep that in mind, in the back of your mind, because it's a very strong possibility that whenever we hit that level, if it's hit early in the morning, they've got the rest of the day to let it drift lower in the midsection of the day. Is there some selling pressure? Like let's say it hits it within the first hour, and say by 10:30 it's hit that print, just for example. Then by noon they allow it to drop down. Noon or 1 o'clock they allow it to drop down to do a B wave, and then late into the day they start to ram it higher. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. It's going to be a feel thing. Just looking at the market, looking at the volume. Now, if on the other hand, they open where they're at and slowly work their way up all day long, and it takes, let's just say, all the way till, I don't know, 2 o'clock or something, late into the afternoon, before it finally gets up here to this print, that to me would be a healthy wave 2 retracement, which would indicate to me a wave 3 would come down, because by 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock time period, that last hour, if it took all day to get up there, that means they've used most of that POMO money, and that it's getting tired and exhausted, and it would be more likely the traders that would be trading in the later part of the day, that 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock on to the close, are more likely going to take some short positions and sell, as opposed to thinking it's going to go much higher. So you kind of want it to stretch out all day to work its way up, and by 2:30 or 3 or even 2, somewhere in that 2 to 3 range, I'm just kind of speculating on that, that's when you'd want it to kind of peak out at a 50% retracement. Now it could chop up and down, because you can see this is overbought. This could roll its way down, back up, kind of go down, up. So sure, it could go down, up, until it finally works its way up there. And that's what you want. That to me would indicate that we could have a nice move down on Friday, assuming that they come out with some normal numbers, nothing fancy. I don't think they have to do anything. The market's kind of spooked right now anyway, so you really don't have to come out with any manufactured good numbers or bad numbers. I think all they have to do is meet expectations on what is it coming out to GDP or something, I think, on Friday. Let me look here real quick on my laptop. I think it's I don't know, maybe I'm thinking initial claims. Well, something here. I'm looking here. Yeah, GDP. Sorry, gang. So, that may or may not move the market. I don't know. So basically what we're looking for is the technicals of it to work, which would, to me, indicate that if they do that, then we should have a nice wave 3 down. It wouldn't take much to spook the market at that point. And if you throw in some of the Middle Eastern, Egypt stuff, then that can also be a good reason for traders to get out of all their longs over the weekend, because they don't want to take a chance and go short or something. So that's the two scenarios there. Either way, I see us going up to a 50% retracement tomorrow. So, and I know that chart's overbought in the 15, but understand it's going to roll down and cycle back up because of the 30 running up, and you can see how deep it is right here, negative 7.5, very oversold, and the full stochastics is moving up. I think it's going to move up, just like that, work its way up each time, and the 60, I think it's going to do the same thing. See how massively oversold it is. I think it's going to curl back up, then back down, and back up. So it should do that. So that's kind of my thinking, that if it works its way up all day long and finally gets up here and gets in overbought territory and maybe puts a small hump in here like this, then Friday we could see it roll over into a nice wave down, a C wave, or I mean a wave 3 down. But we want it to kind of work its way up there. And this full stochastic, we want it to get back up here to maybe, I don't know, negative 2.5 or negative 5.5. You want to get it out of this territory here so it's got some room to kind of roll back down again and make a dip and let the market sell off. But right now it's just so oversold there that it doesn't look like it's going to want to break the area. We need it to get back up at a little higher level before it kind of rolls down again. So that would basically let it go up throughout the day and put in some histogram towers over into the positive territory there, and then kind of roll over. So I really would like to see it take all day long to work its way up to here. If it does it quickly, I would be scared to go short, because I would think that they're going to dip it down and then ram it into the late afternoon of the day. That's what I would think. It'd be more like an ABC again. So, and obviously you'd want it to get back in this. I definitely think they'll gap above this trend line, or not necessarily have to gap it. It looks like it's right at it, and get back in there in that territory, and then just roll up. So those are the possible scenarios that we have. Either way, we're looking at that level around that fake. I'm tired. Plus, I got a cold. My throat's a little sore, so my nose is a little stopped up. So sorry about that. That gap field there, which is also around that fake print. So they kind of go hand in hand, which is 135.14 on the SPY again. But you just always remember, with that extra POMO in there, they can certainly, if there's no sellers, then they can really push this up, and it can very well go at ABC, and we could go up here and revisit the double top and hit the 135 print, which would be 1350. 135.14 is the fake print, so it's going to take out that high if it does that. If it does that, then there's not going to be no crash on Friday. It's going to be pushed off till next week, but a crash is coming. We're getting within days to weeks from having one. This market is in a topping process right now, and so we are here. We are in this range. The question is, are we right in this area where we're ready to fall off a cliff, or are we right here in this area? I kind of think we're in this area, and we should go back up a little, and possibly go another high, or just simply go up a little bit and then down and up. And so it won't be exactly like this again, but we are definitely in this range in a topping process. It's just going to take a little bit of time for this thing to roll over. So, and on another note, Anna is going to have a, let's see here. She is going to have, she posted it somewhere here on the blog, that we're going to do a training session for options. She's doing a free webinar, and she is very, very, very good at this, folks, when it comes to options. She knows them inside and out. So I encourage everyone to attend. I'll put a link up here on the page for it when she has. I think it's going to be next Sunday, not this Sunday. It's going to be next Sunday that is going to do it. I encourage everyone to go there and check out what she's learned over the years with options. And she I've learned a lot from her on how to do options. I really have. And to give you a brief history of her and I, when I started this blog over a year or two ago, maybe a year and a half, I don't know, 2 years, maybe I think about a year and a half now. When I started it, I had seen Anna on other websites posting, on Tim Knight's Slope of Hope, on Evil Speculator with Mole, and many other sites. I had seen her, I had seen Kirsten, and I had seen Fuji-san, I believe how it's pronounced. or Fusion. I think Anna says it's Fusion, but I don't know how her name is. You all know who she is. She's kind of went away now, and I ain't seen her in a while. But those three girls were really, really good, and I had emailed on after watching them post for, I don't know, a year. I was watching and learning, trying to learn, and I had decided to start my own blog, just for me to post my own thoughts, and I emailed her and asked her if she was interested in doing a blog, and she didn't know anything about the technicals and how to set one up, and I said no, I'd set one up for her, and so I did. I helped her set up hotoptionbabe.com, and then we just became friends from there on out, and we talked to each other on a regular basis and help each other out. So she has her blog, I have mine. I was there in the beginning to help it. I created the graphics for her. I created this banner for her because I'm pretty decent with a Photoshop. So this banner here, I created that for her just recently. But anyway, she's a good gal, and she really is good with options. So I encourage you all to take that. And I can tell you right now that she really does well when the markets are volatile. And we are getting to that period over the coming months. This market is probably going to go crazy with volatility. We all know that. And so she really knows how to do these options. She's going to be teaching you that for free there. But for you to get in there, you can try her course out for $89 a month. And I'm not making anything from promoting this, folks. This is just me doing this for a friend. But I would encourage you, after you get in there and see what she's talking about in the free seminar that she's going to do, then if you have an interest, be sure and let me know, or just email her and tell her, you're a friend of mine, you want to test it out for $89 a month. It's well worth it if you have the ability to trade multiple positions, like if you're interested in trading oil and gold and silver and Google and Baidu and Amazon. She's really good at earnings calls when they have earnings, and the way she does this. So, but anyway, gang, I definitely encourage everyone to go to the seminar whenever she has that next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, and I will post a link there for everyone. So that is it. Other than that, I just, again, would just say be careful, because there's a lot of POMO going in with that Zero Hedge article about every Thursday them pumping in extra money. It is something to be worried about. Besides the regular POMO money, they have this extra money, and the link is right here, as you can see here on the blog. And basically, it's every Thursday. Extra money, they call it a supplementary financing program. Another $25 billion goes in, it says, but it happens every Thursday. So be aware of that, and be aware of that fake print of 135.14. That puts in a double top, or actually takes out the current top. So, just be aware of that, because it could happen. And it's this art, this, I'll let you go read that yourself, but you can see it extends all the way into March 14th. I'm sorry, April 14th. So, that's a scary thing. It doesn't mean that we aren't going to crash. I still think that's coming, but that just means we're going to have a wild ride. That's all. Lots of volatility up and down, wild swings. So, all right, that is it, gang. I'm getting tired. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the blog. Good luck again, as usual.